Hello there, it's me again, more flowers this time. I made this couple of flowers. This light is quite shiny. Let's see if that's better. Unfortunately my camera won't adjust for the fuzziness. If you picture a, this is not really a nice analogy, but meh. If you picture a spider you've killed with its legs closed up in the air, well that's what we've got. Okay, I hate spiders. Okay, the usual tools, we've got our blanks here. And these will be available for sale on my website. And we've got, this is us today. Oops, let's put it down so you can see. stellasblooms.com. Okay, so we've got our blanks. They're in 3 different sizes. We've got a 4, 3, no, that's wrong. That one is a 4, the tiny one. The middle one is 5, and this one must be the 6. Yeah, pretty close to 6. So you've got 6, 5 and 4. And I've got some stamens and my chalk. I've got this scoring tool, which has seen a lot of use, you can see. We've got our big piercing needle. We've got our glue, our spritz, our mat for shaping, and our little paint mat. Well used, well washed and well used. Okay, we may as well stay on this since I started here. Right, first thing we start with, we've got our whites. Now I'm not sure if my camera is at a good angle or not, so let's try that. That looks okay to me. So we're going to start with a large one. There are 3 large pieces. And they will be double flowers with the medium pieces. Okay, let's start with one. First, let's spritz. Get our colour happening. It's a lovely dark blue, but it doesn't go dark blue on my work because these are pastels. Okay, I'm just going halfway down, maybe a little bit more, 2/3 of the way down these petals. On this side, this is the top. Now for the underneath, I'm covering the whole thing. Which is also keeping it moist. And then, where's my yellow? I'll put it back. That's not the yellow I was using. Okay, I'll just pick one. Let's have a look at that one. That's our mat. I think that's the one. Okay. Get a clean part of our wet one, and we're just going in there with that. Okay, put that aside. Now we grab our needle and we'll make our hole in the middle like that. Don't push it all the way up the needle, you don't need it that big. Okay, now let's get our tool, and we're going to do like we do the leaves. We're going to pull those petals down. You can go as far as you want. I'm going right down into the yellow. I'll give that other one a little twist, why not? Okay. Let's open our hole again a bit. Set that to the side. And let's come back and prepare a medium-sized one. Hole in. And now we just tease this one into shape. If you find it gets stuck, sort of like halfway, just on the opposite petal, just give it a gentle tug, and hopefully that should bring it back into line. I'm going to use 5, I think. 5. This one I only used 3. I don't think it's quite big enough. And I don't like to use even numbers, as you probably know if you follow me. Let's make them a little uneven. Too uneven. Okay. I'll snip that in half. Spread some glue over all those stems because you want them to stick together. Now let's twist them together and just hold it for a bit until that glue dries or semi-dries, especially at the tip there where it's going to go through the holes. Okay, gently press them through the hole. Nope, that's not doing it yet. Perhaps 5 was too much. Just make that hole a little bit bigger. Oh, we're in trouble here. I should have stuck with a 3, yeah? Yeah. I'm going to stick with 3. So depending on how thick your stems are, 3 or 5 with whatever you've got. Okay. Okay, this poor flower has been stretched, so let's just give it an extra pull on each of those petals to bring them back into line. Here we go, that's good enough. Now I like to put some glue around the hole. And then I'm going to put some glue around the top here, plus over the paper as well, because I'm going to stick it right in the middle of this one. There we go. Oops. And once we're stuck together, we'll pop a little bit of that glue on the stems. Okay, that's the large one. Let's do a small one. So you get 3 of these, of the big ones. I think there's 8 of these. There's 20 altogether. Right, we're going to do the small one. Then I might go for a different colour. Maybe. Or I could add some leaves. They're slightly damp, so just be careful when you're pulling. I'm just going to use these 2 that I took off that last bunch. You could put 3 in if you want, but I'm just going to use these 2 Find our hole, pop it in. I like my stamens hanging over, propping out the top. I don't really like them hidden unless they have to be. I like it like that. And then we glue down the back there. How easy is that? And that's a sweet little flower. A little bit less closed up than that previous one. Oops. Just try and get them in my fingers there so you can see the lot. I think it's a lovely collection. It's a pretty flower. And if you want them to close up a bit more, just gently ease them that way, and they will, until they're dry, of course. Once they're dry, what you've got is what you get. It's real pretty. Okay, let's do some with medium and small. You probably can't hear the storm that's raging behind me, but it's awful weather. The temperature is in the single digits. We've had some minus. And of course with COVID you can't go out. We're in lockdown at the minute. I think all of Melbourne is. And we'll put a small one inside that one. Some of my yellow is turning green. It's okay. It's meant to do that. If you find that your flowers are getting dry before you can get to this point, then a quick spritz will help you with that. That's why I like to do one flower at a time. Okay, let's grab 3 of these. think we've got them all. No, I didn't think so. Come on. Hopefully that's it. When you have trouble like this, it does distort the flower a wee bit. Glue in, and glue there, and over the outside of the flower near the stem, so that we can pop it straight into here. And let's make that hole big enough. There we go, that looks okay. Now you can open these up if you want. There we go. So that is one of the mediums and one of the smalls to create that flower. So you would have quite a few. And then probably one or two more small ones on their own. Okay, let's do another small one. And I'm thinking of actually adding a bit of light blue. Oh, that's a lovely shade. Then we'll mix the two. Now I just want to try something. If you watched my video about a product review, I reviewed these. That's a periwinkle blue. Let's see what this does for a shimmer. I'm going to do both sides. to give these a really good swirl so that you've got all the shimmer in the colour. Okay. This does spray out. What's happened? Quite dark. I'm not sure really that I like what I'm doing here. Let's see how it works out. It's still a bit wet, so we need to be extra careful when we're pulling in our petals. Now that's given us a totally different colour. It's got a shimmer, but it's a totally different colour. So I think I will use it. I find it just a little unfortunate that these particular shimmers are so dark. They totally change the colour you started with. But I think a bit of contrast in this group wouldn't hurt. Oops. Just manipulate it a little bit, and I'm really happy with that little bulb. Very happy with it. So when I'm doing a group like this, oops, I will have to do another one. With that shading, so I'm going to do a big one. I mean, you probably wouldn't need to actually use the colour because that would just do it all for you. So we might try that afterwards and see what we get. settles to the bottom fairly quickly. Yep, we got some glimmer there. Oh, there's the wind. Okay, let's put a small one in there, and let's try going straight for that without the colour, the prior colour. And this gets all over your fingers, under your fingernails. I don't know if you can see the shimmer there, but it is shimmering. I was wondering if I should try a bead in the centre. Okay, just another way of putting it together. Put the middle one on the needle. And then set it in. And I will use these. Look, my hand's full of paint. We're going to take this all the way through to widen that hole a bit, because this is quite thick. And in you go. Now normally I would wait until the stamens were dry, but for the sake of the video I'm just shooting on ahead. Got a nice shimmer. Okay. Compared to these, that is a lovely contrast. That's a really beautiful contrast. So this one's a little darker than those two, so there's a three contrasting, which is really quite nice. Okay, now what you can also do with this set to make leaves, cut up one of these pieces. So let's cut up. First up, wash my hands. Get as much of that off as I can, because obviously we're going green. Don't like any of those greens that I've got in my pastels, so where did I put them? Okay. I always forget where I put things. Oh well. We've got an alternative. I'll use a green shimmer. I was going to use the Distress ink that I have in green, which I wrote down. Before before I do that, I'm going to cut some leaves out. Just cut them straight across to there, there. Just cut them so they've got a bit of a point at the bottom. There we go. Okay. Clean wipe. You can use paper towel for this. I can see that shimmering. It's beautiful. And then another spritz of it. Let's move them onto this pad. When you see them with the glimmer, the shimmer happening, they look like silk. It's just beautiful. Okay, so I'm going to do these like my normal leaves. They don't have to all face the same way, don't forget. Okay, and I think they're dry enough. Be careful and go slow. This one doesn't want to come. I'll just grab it by the point. Give it a little bit of help. Okay, there we go. I think for this kit I might add another one of these large ones so that you can have some leaves. We can attach them or leave them separate. I'm probably inclined to leave them separate actually. Now I'm doing the leaves. Oops. If you look at the back, you can see the veins down the center. Now you can put your leaves, if you're going to attach them, you can put them that way so they go downwards, which I think is really pretty, or you go upwards and then just move them out. I'm thinking I might put, I'm sorry, excuse me. I think I might go that way. I'm going to give this one 2 leaves. Sorry, I've got something in my throat. And I'm taking them that way. There's a lovely shimmer there. I wonder if I should put another one. I might put another one just on the, closer to the stem, see what happens there. Just twist the end around a bit till it's caught. There we go. Nice. Oops. Yeah, probably a bit more that way. And perhaps a leaf on one of the small ones. Let's have it cupping that. Just attach it onto one. One of the petals. Now I think that's too large, so if I was going for leaves on the small one, I would use a small or a medium flower to cut the leaves out. Let's see what about the medium size one. Now that's nice. That is nice, I like that one. Put as many leaves on it as you want. They can go together, they can go opposite or whatever, but I'm just going to leave them like that. So there we've got that one. Here we go. It's a real pretty arrangement, that is. Okay, that's all I've got for today. I hope you enjoy making these new flowers, or if you've learnt something from me, that's awesome. Look at how dirty my thing, what do you call this? Glue thing. Anyway, you don't want to see me clean that. I'll clean that when I finish this. Okay, I hope you enjoyed that. They're beautiful flowers, and I'll come up with another design soon. Okay, and don't forget, check me out on stellasblooms.com, my own website now. Okay, thank you very much for joining me today, and I'll see you next time. Happy crafting everyone, and stay safe.